What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I want to talk about everything having to do with mix-ups, but mainly why people hate mix-ups so much. Let's get right into the video. Now, this has been a topic that I've wanted to cover on the channel for a while, but I never really got around to it because mainly I felt like it wasn't really needed. And I thought about it some more and I was like, okay, yeah, I should make a video on this because on the channel, I realized that I don't have that much beginner friendly content anymore. And I kind of want to get back to that because I feel like that there are some people that can still benefit from it. You don't know, like, if somebody's going to end up picking up MK11, today or next month. So I just want to have more beginner friendly content, more versatile type content on the channel. So let's talk about why people hate mix-up so much. And let me go ahead and switch back to the game right here. Okay, here we go. So the characters that I got on the screen, if you know who these characters are and you play the game a lot, then you understand why I have these two characters. Well, I was gonna put Sonya here, but I've been talking about Sonya a lot, so I'll let her sit this one out, even though she's gonna be on the thumbnail, because she goes there too. But in case you don't know what a mix-up is, mix-ups are basically overhead and low. And essentially, and remember y'all, this is like beginner-friendly type content for this video. So some people probably like, well, Nick, I obviously know what that is, but this video is going to be broken down like step by step. So what a mix-up is basically when you go low or overhead. And over time, you realize people really hate characters that can mix you up very potently. And people hate that because they feel like there's no skill involved with just making somebody guess. Essentially, mixing somebody up is like a coin flip. So when you're put in this situation right here, like if Sub-Zero's right here, you have to guess this or this. Now, a more advanced thing about it is there is a way that you can avoid some mix-ups, and it's called fuzzying. And I have a whole video about what that is and how to do it and how to beat it. But the main thing is Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero is a very controversial character in this community where people like talk about him a lot and they can't seem to agree on him. If you want to know my opinions on Sub-Zero, check out my Truth About Sub-Zero video. Everything still stands from that video, from what I said, even though it's like a couple months old. But Sub-Zero's forward 2 right here is 19 frame startup. That means it comes out in 19 frames. And his low is 13 frames. So that means if you block low, then high every time he gets close, a certain way, you will fuzzy it. Now, Sub-Zero has ways he can break your fuzzy. Like I said, I made a whole video on it, but I can go over it real quick. He can delay the low when he's in the situation to mix you up, or he can like stagger the low and then go in for the grab. And the other variation, the other two, Thin Ice and Avalanche, he has a double low. So high lows break fuzzy guards, double lows break fuzzy guards, and just waiting to do the move, like if you just delay it just a bit, that breaks fuzzy guards. So that is like more advanced stuff that's gonna come later on in the game, like with higher level players and everything. But at beginner level, you're just still guessing between low and overhead. And people really, really hate this strategy. They can't stand it. And like I was saying earlier, to continue that, they feel like no skill is put in the situation. And I'm saying this is what a lot of high level players think as well. So let's talk about that essentially. So if I put somebody in this right here, after I do that right there, you have to guess, well, let's do one that's closer. If I do that right there, or even this one, but this one is better for explanation purposes. If I do this right here, after this, you have to guess. Now, if you guess wrong, you're eating another combo. And this infuriates a lot of players. A lot of players don't like being put in a situation to where they have to guess. Now, my whole thing about that is there used to be a, well, not used to be, he's still very potent in MK11, but he said something one time a long time ago, and it was a pro player, and he said, if you don't like mix-ups, don't put yourself in a situation to get mixed up. And it was funny him saying that because he's a very lame player. Like, he stays away. So I guess he fits what he says perfectly. He just don't let you get close. But that's one way around it, I guess. Just don't let the character get close. But some characters, like Sub-Zero, he's going to get in because this checks you so much in the neutral. And Sonya, she's going to get in eventually. One person you can like argue to keep them out is Terminator. But still, the whole thing why people hate it is because they feel like, oh, well, you didn't do nothing to me, really. You didn't outplay me. You just put me in a coin flipping situation where I had to guess between two options. So how does that make you a skilled player? How does that make you good? And I can see what people mean by that, because if you're put in this situation right here and you're on match point and you had to guess overhead or low at the end for like you winning the match and you guess wrong and you just lose, did you really get outplayed? That's the question that people are always going to be asking, and it's always going to go back and forth. But I'm honestly like 50-50 on it in a way, because if you essentially think about it, besides playing really good neutral, everything is a guess. If you like, just think about it. When you walk up right here, because there is more respectable mix in fighting games, and that's the whole grab system and everything. If somebody walks up to your face right here, in MK11, you have to guess, are they going to grab you forward? Are they going to grab you backwards? Or they're going to shimmy you, which means they know you're going to try to take the grab, so they do a move that's going to break that. A lot of characters in MK11 have that move. So while the argument is always like so back and forth and people can never really come to a decision on it, it's basically because it's like everything's basically a guess. It's just one is more scrubby than the other, to be honest. But I mean, it's just something you're gonna have to deal with in fighting games. There are mix-up characters, that is an archetype, and there's people that are going to try to mix you up. Now, I don't have a problem. Now, this is me discussing how I personally feel about it. I don't have a problem with mix-ups in general. I feel like as long as the mix-up character is designed right, then mix-ups are just something you're going to have to deal with and just basically get over it. There's no other way to put it. I'm not trying to sound, a certain type of way about it, but it's in the game and you're going to have to deal with it. Just like you're going to have to deal with some punk sitting full screen and just zoning you out. Like, and in case you don't know, I keep it real about zoning on the channel. Like, that crap is lame, but people are gonna do it. I made plenty of videos how I feel about zoning. I don't like respect it. I don't like it. I don't really like watching it, but I accept it and learned how to deal with it. But I take back calling them punks. I know there's probably gonna be some people offended, even though I'm joking, but it's like a punk play style. Like, you just sit back and throw stuff. But like mix-ups, it's just you're coin flipping them basically. And back to the topic at hand. So where I was saying everything is a guess with the whole grabbing and everything, that's why I don't really understand how people can get so angry to the point to where they will literally end up like attacking players and stuff. I just don't understand, because you gotta open somebody up. Like in fighting games, there has to be a way to do it, or it's gonna be just a game full of block strings. So, yeah. Now, the whole thing with learning how to get around the mix-ups is, like I said earlier, you could just choose characters that don't have to deal with it, but some people are just going to get in eventually, or you can learn how to fuzzy. Like I said, got a video on that. But my whole personal opinion on everything regarding mix-ups is people just go in too much about it. Like, it's a good strategy. There's characters that have it, and I understand why it is hated, but I'm really serious, y'all. Some level that people go that people go on hating on these characters is ridiculous. Now, I know what y'all gonna say. Nick, you really hate Sonya. So why are you saying this? Aren't you guilty of that too? I hate Sonya because people downplay the crap out of her. That's why I can't stand Sonya for the main part. But so when you have these mix-up characters and everything, I feel like there's a way that a mix-up character should be designed. And I feel like mix-up characters should be as unsafe as they put you in like a guessing situation. So to put it like this, I think Sub-Zero is a very well designed mix-up character because there's counterplay to his mix, and his overhead, if he wants to get damage, is very unsafe. Very, very unsafe. And it's like a risk reward thing behind it. That's what I think a mix-up character should be. If they are trying to open you up by mixing you up and you guess right, they should be punished for it. Like, imagine if Ice Ball was safe. Imagine how freaking ridiculous this character would be. And imagine if Terminator's mix was safe. Let me switch on over to Terminator. Like, imagine all this stuff right here, the Running Man stuff, and he has command grabs, and he have, like, Terminator, he has the most potent mix in the game, actually. Like, you cannot fuzzy his stuff, and he got command grabs on top of it, and running command grabs. Like, Terminator is the heaviest mixed character in the game. He really is. Because you just are put in so many situations to guess. But this is why I feel like mix-ups are designed well in this game. Every heavy mix-up character, like Sonya, Sub-Zero, and Terminator, really, really have to work for their mix, in my personal opinion. Well, Sonya less than these two. Matter of fact, scratch Sonya off that. These two have to kind of work to get in for their mix, mostly Terminator, and that's how I feel mix should be designed. They have to get in, work for it. There's counterplay around it. Now, back in MK10, that's a game that a lot of people like heavily regarded as a mix-up heavy game, which it was. A lot of characters did not have to work for their mix. They got in and you got hit with an overhead or low and it was safe. It was absolutely ridiculous in a lot of cases. I don't think it's like that in this game. I think them, for the most part, they got how they want a mix-up character to be designed down, and I think they honestly really got it right in this game. So, yeah, to sum everything up, how I feel about mix-ups and everything, I think it's perfectly fine. It can be annoying at times to end up losing because of it, but it just is what it is. It's not going anywhere. They're not gonna just take mix-ups out of every fighting game forever. And I feel like if you learn how to deal with it more, get your defense up and everything, then you will get less angry at it. But at the end of the day, it still can be viewed as scrubby, lucky, all that, or whatever, but it's in the game. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. Just let people know how I feel about mix-ups and everything. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and my Patreon. And Nickopz out. Have a good day, everybody.